Welcome back to Les Schwab Tire Center's Outdoor GPS, presented by Fisherman's Marine and Outdoor.
Welcome back, everyone. Thank you very much for joining us. Now, we're going to go to Shane Magnuson here very, very quickly, but I just got a message on our Facebook page from Earl. He wants to talk about bank fishing for fall Chinook. Obviously, yes, we're going to be talking about that, but I need your help. There's a guy out there that owns a company. It's strong, or cold water strong. I'm sorry, I'm terrible at names, but I want to interview him so bad. He just crushes it from the bank. So not to slow everything down, somebody send me a message so I can find out who I need to talk to there. Shane, how you doing, man? It looks like the weather's holding out pretty nice for you down there.
Yeah, it's looking good. That guy's name is Ken from Coldwater Strong.
Say that again?
Ken is his first name, Ken.
Okay, now look at that. See, he just fixed my problem. Thank you. Ryan, write that down. I want to get him on to talk about plunking. All right, so tell everybody where you are, what you're seeing, and how the fishing is this morning.
You know, we're down here on the south coast and mouth of Rogue here where it dumps in, and it's busy, as you can see kind of around me as I rotate around.
Wow.
We are just at low tide. The bite's just starting to come on. We've seen 4 or 5 fish caught here in the last half hour. We just lost one. And yeah, it's a beautiful morning.
Well, let's hope we can get lucky, man, to see if you can catch a fish while we're talking to you from Southern Oregon. Typically, you know, we're talking about 2 extremely different locations. Have you spent much time down there fishing before, Shane?
You know, actually, this is my first time. I'm down here with my buddy Brian McGinty, and has fished here all his life. His parents live here, and he invited me down, and yeah, this is a cool place.
It's a beautiful location. I've never participated in that fishery either, and I know that there's been a very large change in how they actually fish for them down there. Now, your buddy, you said he's been fishing there a long time. Are you guys has he converted to the 360 thing, or is he sticking more old school with the spinners in front of anchovy?
He has definitely switched over to the 360 thing over this last year and a half. And actually, that fish we just lost was on an anchovy spinner behind a 360. So,
okay,
you know, doing a little combo.
Yeah, you know, that we've talked about it over the years with several different folks, and it seemed like just a perfect fit for an anchovy behind a 360 or behind a Pro Troll, behind any sort of that option, of course, just because of size, and they're going to work. But you mentioned crowd. There's a lot of people there, but that's really not that crowded, if I remember correctly.
Yeah, you know, there's definitely probably 85 to 100 boats, but it's a bigger circle than Drano, so we have room.
For a second, I was like, what's going on with that rod behind you? Somebody was reeling it in. I was watching that rod tip just drop it right there. Okay, so 360s, you got an anchovy behind it with the spinner most of the time in front of them, at least down there. Is that what everybody's doing down there? Is everybody pretty much fishing the same way?
You know, there's a few guys I see out here still just pulling a weight to bait or a fish flash and a bait. But it looks like the majority of the people are definitely trying to pull the 360 things. It seems to be successful. I know we got a combination of anchovies on a couple. We got a spin fish on a one, and then just a plain spinner on the other. So we've got a variety of things out there.
Now, up to this point, it's the middle of August. This is when that fishery starts to get good. This is where typically, I'm not down there, everyone, so it's typically, this is when things start to ramp up. Has it been decent to this point, or has it been pretty slow and now things are starting to pick up?
You know, I know Brian was up here just a week and a half ago before he came and fished Buoy 10 with us, and it was good then, and it sounds like it was good all the way back in the middle of July, he was telling me. So it's kind of been all summer.
Very good. I mean, it's definitely a fishery that a lot of us that live up north just don't get involved with. Would you say that is something that, with how you fish in the Columbia, how you like to target Chinook up and down the entirety of the Columbia, that you could actually translate right to that fishery and be somewhat productive?
Absolutely. You know, we're used to fishing a little deeper water in the Columbia. We're fishing a lot of 10 to 20 foot stuff in here. But other than that, absolutely. We're pulling the same stuff, you know, minor techniques between leader lengths and things, but everything translates over pretty well.
Now, if I remember correctly, that's a fishery that a lot of people from Northern California, Southern Oregon, and of course other areas will migrate to actually participate in. But do you notice, I know that you don't fish this often, or this is actually, everyone, like you already said, the very first time that he's fished it. But do you notice different boat numbers, like from different locations, or have you talked to other folks that are traveling to do the same thing that you're doing?
Absolutely. I've already seen quite a few California boats out here. I'm in one of them. But there's definitely, you know, a lot of locals, and it sounds like people that travel down from, you know, as far as Salem and things up north also.
Yeah, they certainly will cover ground, but nobody has covered as much ground. I would say you could argue that with some of the folks down there. You covered a lot of ground to get there and passing up on some of the fisheries that some might expect you to be participating in now. But I got to cut to a break. When I come back, though, I want to talk to you about how you guys are going to fish this. The tide is low now. It's going to be coming in, and kind of what that MO is. And if your buddy wants to jump in and help out, by all means, we'd love to get some insight. But don't go anywhere, Shane. We've got Shane Magnuson from Upper Columbia Guide Service. He's down on the Rogue, the mouth of the Rogue River right now, chasing fall Chinook in one of the funnest fisheries with some of the best quality fish as well. So don't go anywhere. We're going to continue that conversation in just a couple of minutes. Shane, be patient with me, bud.
Outdoor GPS is brought to you by Terra Firma Foundation Systems. We keep homes safe, dry, and stable. By Yakima Bait, steeped in tradition, innovation, and fishing success. And by Procure Bait Sense, ruthlessly effective.